What's going on, Movie Meals? Saw last night Midsommar. I've been so excited for this movie. I'm a big fan of Hereditary, big fan of the director whose name I will butcher, so I'm not going to try. Again, Kyle hopefully will have a clip later in this video. Should be throwing it to him at some point, but my positives is this film. I really liked it. I did. I thought it was slow. It was intense. It's not really horror. It's much more suspense. It's much more thriller, but it's definitely not full horror. It's more disturbing imagery than anything else. It's definitely not for everybody. There's a lot of really, we had a couple of people leave, about 40 minutes left in the film, and people started to bail, but I really liked it. I thought all the actors brought it. I really loved the main girl from Fighting With My Family. I thought she delivered on all fronts. I really like Jack Rayner, I think is his name. I thought he killed it. Will Poulter, as well as the supporting cast, I thought did a great job. Bringing, what this movie really is, it's a love story, is what it is. It's a lost story of love, and I really liked that, and I liked the subtlety, I liked the hints, and I really dug it. It's one of my favorites of the year now. It's up there with a lot of them. I really liked it. I thought the slow burn worked. I was tense the whole time. My lower back was so tense, and I was nervous the whole time throughout this film. And
Alex and I know we're in different places right now, but we were both able to come together and be able to check out Midsommar, that horror, I guess you can call it horror, thriller, spooky. I'm not quite sure what this is called for director Ari Aster's genre. I believe that's the director's name. Hopefully I didn't butcher that too much. But he's the director that did Hereditary, and I really loved Hereditary. I was late to the game on it last year, but I really enjoyed watching it, and I couldn't wait to see what he was doing next, and now here we are. Now we have his movie Midsommar, or Midsommar. I don't know how to pronounce these words. But I gotta say, it is great on all levels when it comes to the filmmaking aspect of this movie. I think it's beautifully shot. He clearly takes time to craft each scene perfectly to make sure it's not only visually pleasing, but also just to watch nuances, whether it comes to the background characters or whether it comes just to our forefront characters in general and the journey that they have to go through. And really, there's some standout acting from this. Not only from Florence Pugh, who's the main actress in this movie. I loved her in Fighting With My Family, but I might have loved her even more when it comes to acting in this movie. She really shows that she is a capable actress and that she should be getting a lot more work. And especially since she just signed on for the Black Widow movie, I think we're going to be able to see her a lot more because she is phenomenal in this. And opposite of her, who I think did a very great job, is Jack. Oh man, I'm trying to remember his name. I believe it's Jack Rayner. I don't have my phone on me, so I can't check. I'm sorry, but he's been great. You guys might recognize this guy from Sing Street. He does a great job in that movie. He's also in this small sci-fi movie called Kin, which not a lot of people liked. It really went under the radar last year, and I didn't think it was a great movie, but at least he was a standout for me in there as well. And he does a really great job and has to go through great lengths as an actor to make sure he kills in the role. So they did a great job, and the director clearly took the time to be able to make these actors dive deep into their characters in order to make this work. Because there's a lot of personal drama, a lot of personal trauma, and stakes that they all have to go through as characters, and I think that was all handled very well. I thought whilst audiences may come out and not really like these characters, and they might not think that they're so likable, I think for the most part, the movie at least took its time for us to be able to see the undergoings of why they are these type of people. And there's a lot of personal drama, a lot of personal trauma, and stakes that they all have to go through as characters, and I think that was all handled very well. I thought whilst audiences may come out and not really like these characters, and they might not think that they're so likable, I think for the most part, the movie at least took its time for us to be able to see the undergoings of why they are these type of people, and how certain perspectives of their own selves shifts throughout the movie. And I thought it was very interesting, at least, to dive into that. And also the horror elements, I think, worked pretty well for the most part. I'm the biggest scaredy cat I know, but I gotta say, I wasn't too scared or freaked out during this whole movie. I didn't find it very scary, but I don't think it was supposed to be jump scare scary, or it's more supposed to be under your skin, make your skin crawl type of scary, with similar to Hereditary in some ways, not in all ways, but in some ways anyway. But really the negative that I have is that personally I just wasn't affected by the story all that much. I didn't get any sort of lasting impact for myself. I mean, I was leaving the theater, and I remember liking it a lot for the most part, but then I was slowly thinking about it and being like, well, I don't know, maybe I just didn't like the way that certain characters and their arcs, how that went through, or maybe just the overall message that the movie was trying to send that just didn't really impact me that much. So while I say in general, like, it is a very well-constructed movie, it clearly takes its time to thoroughly flesh out like the story that I was trying to make it a visually pleasing movie, to make it really get under your skin and that type of horror aspect. I just think in general the movie just doesn't work for me completely. I would have liked to have really enjoyed it as much as I did for Hereditary. Not that I really want to compare the two all that much, but if I had to compare, it probably would be that I liked Hereditary more for what it did, and I think Midsommar maybe it missed the mark in that way, or maybe it just plain out just didn't work for me in general, which that's not a bad thing at all, I don't think. But I would recommend, if you're a horror fan or if you're a fan of this guy's work, or just want to see something different, I would recommend checking it out. It's definitely not going to be a movie for everyone. There's definitely going to be some scenes and some moments in the movie that are really going to take people back, I think, and make people be like, what am I doing in this movie? So if that's the experience you want, I would say check it out, or at least get a different type of movie than what you're probably used to. But again, the story in general just doesn't work for me. I don't think it's going to leave too much of a lasting impact. Maybe I'll have to check it out again and it'll change my mind, but until now, for the most part, it just didn't affect me personally, but I think everything else about this movie did a really, really great job.
I mean, some of my positives is I was expecting, or my negatives is that I was expecting a little bit of horror and didn't get it, and I kind of wanted to be scared a little bit, and I really wasn't. But that's okay because it's not really what it is. So maybe the biggest complaint is the way they advertise the film. But that's about it. I adored this movie from start to finish. I thought it was really, really good. I thought it was great. You're not going for jump scares. There's none of them. There's no that type of horror. It's suspense. It's dark. It's gritty. It represents, loss, drug addiction in general, and a lot of this just dark stuff, real stuff that I think relates. But it is not for everybody. So I would caution you to go see it or maybe wait. But really, everybody brought it. The atmosphere was great. I do like Hereditary a little more, but still, this movie knocked out of the park for me, and I really enjoyed it. So, guys, please go check it out. And remember to like, subscribe, share, and hey, as always, thanks for watching, Mom. See you guys.